What's going on, everyone? I got the Drop Bear here, and I'm going to do a complete disassembly and reassembly video for you guys. I know some of you guys might be unsure or nervous to do that task, but have no fear, it's pretty easy. Alright, so kick back, relax, and enjoy. So unfortunately, the body screws, the clips, they're all T6s. The only T8s is the pivot. Maybe because it's not a larger piece. Its brother knife, the Escort, has T8s all around. But anyways, so here we go. So I like to take the spring up via the top side of the knife. It just makes it much easier, because sometimes when you go down towards the bottom of the knife, the spring kind of catches up into the scale or the liner, and it's kind of annoying. So I just like to come over the top. Alright, so here we go. Unhook that guy, and see, go over the top, and bam, comes right off. And there's that bar. Now the blade's loose. So each side has this little body screw. It's like a third size of the regular body screw, or maybe a half. A little tiny bit. Alright, so this liner's loose. Bam. Everything comes apart. Bearings. Oh, bearings. Drop that guy. Go. Spacers. Oh yeah, this side has a screw too. Pivot. There we go. Straighten everything out. Make sure everything's there. Two of that. Two of these. Get a knife over here. Go. Bam. Alright. Nice and organized. Alright, so let's start putting it back together. It's pretty easy, guys. Start off with one side. And pay attention, this thing has a D-shaped pivot. Okay? D-shaped body screws. Body spacers, I mean. So that's pretty cool. This is how we can take apart just the scales, and then without using a stick or a little tool to keep the knife together while we access both sides just to adjust or change the springs. So it's pretty ingenious. I love it. Alright, so it's D-shaped. So it's not going to turn. And that's how each side has its own pivot screw. Alright, don't forget that lock pin. Yeah, guys, this is pretty simple. I know I even faced some hardship taking apart other access lock style knives, and when I experienced this guy, it was a breeze. I was kind of amazed at how ingenious it was, the build. It was so simple. Yeah, don't forget, D-shaped. A little annoying. These old fingers. But man, gotta appreciate it, because nothing turns, right? Maintenance is breeze. Hate a turning barrel. Gosh. But, so it comes together so easily. Oh yeah. So be careful. Sometimes this the pin is loose. It's not loose, but it's kind of free moving, so it can kind of slip out. So I like to just kind of keep a finger on it. It also helps keep the blade from moving around before I have the lock bar back on. Alright, let's get this body screw in. Little dude. Alright, this side. So you guys can see it's really not tough at all. It's pretty easy. I'm not actually struggling with the process. Maybe I'm struggling with my hand dexterity, but that's about it. Alright, so the bar goes in, and boom, blade's locked. Won't move anywhere. This is where I like to put in the springs. Let's get rid of the old ones and let's get some thicker ones in. The installed ones are 0.55 millimeters and the extra set are 0.60 millimeters. So a bit bigger, a bit thicker. It's kind of hard to perceive just by the eye, but I think you can kind of feel it just by holding it. But I do feel it when I in the knife when I actually change it out. All right. So I like the second to the hardest setting. I fidget often, so I don't want it super tight. I want it a little droppy. So there you go. You see how I like to go over the top? Just much more access, a little bit more room for my hand to maneuver around. And then I can just access the buttons over the top. Sometimes going under, it's just, you get caught up in things and it's a bit annoying. There you go, bam. And see, you notice that pivot? It's D-shaped. It's not going anywhere and the knife is together. And so this is what's great about this knife. You don't have to take apart the whole piece to change the springs, adjust the springs. So I just took it all apart just so you guys can see it. Really, in actuality, if I were to change the springs or adjust it, it would take me like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. And this knife seems to always stay centered because of that pivot that's independent of the scales and the body, the pivot screws in a sense. So it's kind of got like a perfect spacing that's almost never changing. Now you can actually over tighten the body, the pivot screws, but it'll just slow the knife down a bit. Bam, it's perfect. What do you guys think? Easy, huh?